Well, chalk this one up to out of nowhere, but at the same time, when you have the energy of Apple, you can just kind of buy whatever you want. And if you want to buy a gigantic kaiju for your streaming service, you buy a gigantic kaiju for your streaming service because we're getting a live action Godzilla series for Apple TV Plus. And all 10 people in the world that actively watch Apple TV Plus are happy. Um this is bizarre to me actually. I'm not going to lie. Um One, really thought HBO Max would be doing something with this because they
Yeah.
did Godzilla versus Kong and everything else. But on the flip side, I'm thinking it from the Kong perspective and not the Godzilla perspective because Godzilla, legally speaking, is always in tricky water because Godzilla is not an American property. If I'm right, anything Godzilla related has to go through Toho, and they have like limited contracts. Like I think Godzilla vs Kong was the end of the American contract currently. I could be wrong. We've got a friend that we could ask, but I know Josh doesn't really want to bark up that tree right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if after the Warner deal expired, Warner's like, sure, we'll keep doing Kong things. Godzilla, maybe not, because it's a little trickier financially. And then Apple's like, please, we only have Ted Lasso right now, and we're only so good on that. We can just buy up Godzilla, right? We could just buy up Toho if we wanted. This is a weird choice, but at the same time, Apple TV Plus desperately needs it because we bag on like HBO Max or Peacock. Apple TV Plus, the only reason it has any subscribers is because it comes free for certain Apple users. Like, other than that, I genuinely don't know why anyone would get it. I've heard good things about Ted Lasso, but one good show doesn't make me, as Disney Plus had just The Mandalorian, basically. But, like,
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus, I'm still questioning why it exists at all, because Apple came so late into the streaming game with this, and they haven't made a lot of moves. They're like, hey, we just bought Charlie Brown. We're going, cool. You know, the culturally relevant movie that is Charlie Brown, whose last movie was 2017 by Blue Sky that didn't get a sequel, even though it really, really deserved it because that movie was way better than it had any right to be. But Apple, like, I can't decide if Apple's going all in or not in streaming or not. And if they're not, poop or get off the pot. And this seems like a big ploop, so to speak. Like, Godzilla is the big poop. And that's a good
Yeah.
thing. That's a good thing. That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, I go back and forth because there's a few shows that I have seen trailers for and like ads for, besides Ted Lasso, that have looked interesting. Foundation being one of them, Dickinson being another one. But like and like they got Fraggle Rock over there, bro. Like, I don't know. I agree though. Like at the end of the day, got like a Godzilla show on feels weird on Apple TV Plus. That I think I don't know where else you go. Like, what is he gonna start? Is he gonna fight Ultraman? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like because we've done King of Monsters, we've done we've done Godzilla vs Kong. Like, what story? I'm not to say that Godzilla has a limited catalog, but we've kind of covered quite a bit of it so far.
They're
So
just gonna
just
remake
I don't
Godzilla
know.
versus Mechagodzilla, except Mechagodzilla was created by Apple. Actually, knowing Apple, they'd be like, Microsoft
No,
created
no
Mechagodzilla.
it was created by the metaverse.
Ugh.
Cringe. I just yeah, it's a little. I know intellectual properties is always a weird conversation, um, but it just feels weird for that kind of show to be on Apple TV Plus. I don't know what their budget would be. I don't know how this would. Do you get the same design as the movies? Do you change the design?
I would
What
change
if
the
your
design. I
design
wouldn't even keep the
sucks?
movies. I would make it its own
Like,
continuity, just for
yeah,
freedom's sake.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just weird no matter which way you fold it.
See, I think it's also weird because it's Godzilla as a character, both physically and box office wise, it's too big for streaming. There's certain
Hmm.
characters in the way you approach them that could work for streaming. Like, yes, even the MCU, who's made billions and billions of dollars, can still tell small, intimate stories like Falcon Winter Soldier is much smaller scale. That can be watched at home. Godzilla is a gigantic creature that you kind of want to see on the biggest screen possible that I think lends itself to big, epic movies more so than serialized TV. I just
Yeah.
the reason people watch Godzilla is to see gigantic monsters on the biggest screen possible and to see it just streaming at home. It would be like Peacock saying, "We're going to do a live action Jurassic Park TV series." Like the when you watch something at home, you're watching it more vertically, not you're watching it horizontally, not vertically. Like if you want to watch vertical things, you see them on the big screen. Yes, I know some people will be like, well, there's Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. That's an animated kid series. They don't have live action dinosaurs on Peacock or Netflix because things of that size you want to see on a big screen. And I think it would take, I don't want to be like a Christopher Nolan in the situation of like,
Yeah.
theater's the only way to go. But when you've got gigantic creatures like dinosaurs, like kaijus, like Pacific Rim creatures, which, does this get rid of my potential Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover that I want someday? When you've got
Probably.
characters like those, they lend themselves better to big screens. I know streaming's dominating everything else, but I don't think Godzilla as a character meshes particularly well with streaming.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree. It's gonna feel like Street Sharks or like a Transformers TV show. Like it just
Yeah.
it would just feel campy and weird. So I don't think it's a good idea. But you know, it's Apple TV Plus. They're gonna do what they want.